Morgan. I'm a certified cheese professional here at Scardello and a cheesemonger, first and foremost. Today we're going to be featuring blue cheeses, but in our shop we have about 150 different cut-to-order cheeses, and of which 20 to 30 are blue cheeses, which are my personal favorites. Blue cheese was an accident, and cheese in general was a huge accident. You know, you've got your homeboy who's like, hey, I'm gonna throw this milk into this, stomach. I got this calf stomach, it can carry liquids, I'm gonna carry this across the desert. And he gets there and he's like, oh my gosh, it's a solid cheese. Well, you've got your shepherd homeboy who has his bread and his cheese, he's, taking care of his animals. He goes into the cave to take his little lunch break. Hark! In the distance, there's a shepherdess, and she's beautiful. He leaves his cheese and bread behind. Months later, he's like, oh yeah, wait, that was a perfect shelter. That's where I left all my food at. Well, you've got your rye bread and your cheese. The molds have jumped over. And he's like, oh my gosh, they've got this blue cheese. Well, hence the birth of blue cheese, everybody. To get blue cheese, they actually inoculate milk with blue cheese spores, like the blue mold spores. And you've got several different kinds. You've got penicillin. Penicillin is wrong. Penicillium. So it's very different. All of you people out there that have penicillin allergies, throw that away. Well, I'm not a doctor, so don't throw that away. But Penicillium roqueforti, and you've got Penicillium glaucom, which create two different types of blue cheese. So that being said, you've got your milk, and they actually inoculate that milk with the penicillium spores. All right, so one of my favorite things about blue cheese, I started off hating it. It was horrible. I wanted nothing to do with it. It's so strong. You've got to eat it at the end of your cheese tasting, which is the perfect place for it. It's a great dessert cheese. Taste it with some sweet wine and some honey. People don't normally think about that, but it's beautiful ways to introduce yourself into blue cheese. There's several different kinds. I mean, you've got Gorgonzola, Roquefort, Stilton, Cabrales. It's a tough one, but it's still great. And we feature all of them here at Scardello. You've got all sorts of different kinds. We have about 25 to 30. Blue mold needs 4 things to live. It needs air, it needs food, it needs moisture, it needs salt. Salt helps control the bluing. It keeps everything in check. And a common misnomer: you're not injecting your blue cheese with mold. You've got your. Let's see if you have any here. No, all of these. Actually, here we go. You've got this. They're not injecting that with mold. They actually are piercing it to create air, because mold is not going to grow without air. And so, like these here, you don't have the piercing lines. You just have little pockets of mold. It's because they're hand scooping the curds and they're putting them into the molds, and there's pockets of air trapped into that. When you think about artisanal handmade cheese, it's about preserving that milk. And if you have something like flavored cheeses, smoked cheeses, they can be done in a beautiful artisanal way, but you really want to be able to taste that milk. That's the beauty of artisanal cheese. And blue cheese in and of itself, I mean, we've got Stilton, we've got so many here that you can taste that milk and you can taste that bluing, and it's beautiful. What the blue contributes to that cheese is you've got spicy qualities, you've got peppery, you've got a really like a piquant sharpness. There's so many, even like a fruity aspect sometimes, and that's sometimes people have a hard time just really grasping that, because they're so like blue cheese dressing. I mean, blue cheese, they don't like that stuff. I don't like it either. Nobody likes blue cheese dressing unless it's made with this blue cheese. But, you know, good things to pair blue cheese with. You've got, I always tell people honey. I mean, you've got that, everybody says sweet and salty, sweet and savory. With blue cheese, if you drizzle a little bit of honey, dessert wines like Sauterne, port, I love port. It goes great with blue cheese. You know, port can really bring out chocolatey notes, things that you wouldn't even normally taste in blue cheese. And that's what I love about pairing wines and even beer. You've got your stouts and porters that go wonderfully with blue cheese. Thanks for listening to me jib jab about blue cheese. I love it, and so should you. If you want to come to Scardello, we will hook you up with all your blue cheese needs. And if you stay tuned, we may be featuring some cheese next time. We've got Stilton, we've got Roquefort, we've got all sorts of different things. Stay tuned.